Hi, everyone. I am Ali from The Bench, and welcome to the FHS Podcast. I have with me TJ from Adyen, a very special guest who will talk a little bit about technology. And for those who don't know, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, TJ, and about the business?
Yeah, so my name is Tjalling, or TJ. Tjalling is TJ is probably easier. I work for a company called Adyen. Adyen is a global payments provider or fintech platform. We work with some of the world's largest businesses to really streamline payments for both on and offline. And for hospitality, what that means is just faster payments, smoother guest experiences, and also creating some unique experiences.
And why do you think this is important for this industry?
Well, I think this industry, especially when it comes to payments, is really dominated by some legacy banks, legacy payment providers. And kind of what we are bringing into the market is a fully integrated solution. And what that means is basically from a data perspective, operators can see what is going on from a payments perspective, all from one dashboard. And from kind of an experience perspective, we can help unlock these unique guest experiences that are currently just simply not possible with the current infrastructure. So we help with mobile check-ins, mobile checkouts, unmanned check-ins, for example, or even payment wristbands in water parks. Kind of you name it, and with our platform, it's possible.
And so you're obviously a sponsor with us this year, so thank you for your support. And what has brought you to us this time around?
So we have presence in a lot of different verticals, right? So we do retail, we do pure play e-commerce, mobility, etc. But what we've seen in the last couple of years is that the hospitality industry really has a massive opportunity to innovate, and that's not only from a payments perspective; it's kind of across the board. And what we've also seen is that there is a lot of interest in optimizing these kind of things in the UAE and globally even. So we've made a very clear investment into our hospitality product, and therefore we're super excited to be partnering with FHS and The Bench to bring it out to the market.
Perfect. So what would you say, based on your experience, and we were chatting earlier, of course, about technology and its impact on the future of this sector, and perhaps its impact to all of us and the lives that we live in this world today. What would you think, or would you say in your experience, is the biggest challenge at the moment?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is that a lot of people are still kind of stuck in their ways, and maybe sometimes even scared because there's so much out there in terms of technology that it's really hard to pick and choose kind of what is right and is it the right time. But what's quite interesting about the hospitality industry is that what seems like innovation for the hospitality industry is already kind of an industry standard in some other industries, right?
Sure.
And I think bringing the industry some more practical applications of technology and innovation that is actually not that hard to implement. I think that is really where the gold lies.
Well, people in hospitality may argue that that's a good thing. We don't want to get into this space too much because we're all about people, personal touch. So what would you say to that?
I mean, absolutely. And I think, if you look at the industry, it is super important to keep that human aspect. The reason why people go to hotels rather than perhaps renting an apartment or a villa is because they want that people service. They want that personal touch. What we really believe at Adyen is that people are a key element to the hospitality industry, but they should be enabled by technology. So that means technology shouldn't hold them back. They shouldn't be buried in admin. Actually, let the admin be automated, but let the guest service element still be done by humans.
Well, it sounds like a no-brainer, right? That's what we should all be doing, or what all the hotels should be doing. But of course, we've got these the ecosystem of owner, operator, who controls budgets, who makes decisions, which can be a bit complicated. So how would we address this?
Yeah, I mean, I think you make a great point. Obviously, in the end, someone needs to hold the checkbook and actually press on the buy button. what we really think is that we should shift the conversation away from technology being a cost, but actually looking at technology being a driver of ROI. What we see is that in traditional companies, there's a big focus on cutting costs, but there's not much of a focus on driving revenue. The business drives revenue and finance looks at cost. What we really feel is that these parties should talk to each other and really look at how technology can be an enabler in driving revenue and therefore ROI. And then if you pay a little bit more, it's worth it in the end.
You were describing earlier when you were talking about the business that you see this as an opportunity because there is room to innovate. There's room for the sector to embrace technology. Could you speak more of that? Where do you think is the most exciting opportunity for yourself?
I mean, for us, what we are really proud of is that we are already working with some kind of front runners in the industry. If you now go to the new One Zabil hotel in the UAE, in Dubai, that runs fully on us. So you can see our full solution live there. And the first responses have been amazing. We also have a great partnership with Hilton where we see more and more hotels kind of moving over to us. But there's still a lot left to do, right? So there's local chains. There's also international chains that haven't necessarily made the switch yet, but that we're talking to. And we think that, partnering with FHS can help get the word out there. Great networking opportunity for us. And we're very much looking forward to it.
Well, one last question, Tjalling, then we'll let you go. But we've been in this region for almost 20 years now, and so much has changed. And when we were talking about what Dubai looked like in 2004 and 2005 versus what it looks like now, what is the future of hospitality in your view? What are the next 20 years? If we were sat 20 years later and having this conversation in 2044, what will it look like? What is the future of hospitality?
I mean, that's a big question, right? It's the $1 billion, maybe the $1 trillion question. It's amazing what the UAE's been gone through in the last 20 years. I've had the pleasure of living here for the last 7, and even in the last 7 years, a lot has changed for the good. I think what is good is that there's growing competition in the whole region. I think that keeps everybody on edge. Nobody can really rest on their laurels. So it's really important that I think, you focus on innovation to stay ahead of the curve. It's not all about, the hotel with the most gold or the hotel with the most expensive cappuccino anymore. It's really about kind of how can you elevate the guest experience. So what I hope is that the UAE being such a important hub in the global hospitality industry is that they also are going to become the on the forefront of innovation. I hope to see the first luxury hotel without a front office here, for example. Much more personalized experiences coming into the market. I think that's really what will set the UAE apart.
Nice. So very exciting things to look forward to. And thank you again for being a part of this all.